What are we doing?
Rudy Gillman, Teenage Crackhead.
Action!
Again, different movie.
Rudy Gillman is
Teenage Crackhead.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Coming This Summer.
Sploosh.
Should we?
Whoa. Yeah. I'm not
it's
doing
water.
the CGI
No,
hair
it's
for this
fine.
one. Fuck that.
Another release for the summer. Another less than stellar movie, man.
Another movie review. And just to preface, this coming up week for box office isn't looking good.
It's not
So
looking
this
good.
movie, by comparison, in a week or so,
Might
might
look
actually
better.
be better than we think. Yeah.
This summer's been. It reminds me of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a shit ton of
Oh, yeah.
releases.
Oh, yeah.
Some good, some not so good, but it's just like every week.
It's like May to August is like box office.
It's like the old days.
Box office season. You know what I mean? Like big blockbuster season
But
is May to August.
The problem, though, people want to shit on comic book movies, right?
Well, specific
Superhero
DC
movies.
ones, yeah.
But I'm saying saying that there's fatigue, but
Yeah.
nothing else is really breaking out. Very few things are.
No, and if they are, it's
They're superhero
old,
movies.
or old IPs like
Right.
Indiana Jones or
Right.
Jurassic World. You know,
And that leads me to
Top
my
Gun.
point here is this
Yeah.
is supposed to be like an original animated thing. And I'm saying
Loosely
original
original.
because
This movie rips off a lot of Pixar and Disney.
did you not see like the 60% turning red?
It's-
I mean, it's
I would probably put it more percent turning red, except turning red without like taking a risk and actually mentioning like all the period stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
this is still like
it's turning red without the risk.
right.
Literally.
Turning purple.
Turning
She's
purple.
blue until she turns into a thing and then she turns purple. I mean, like I couldn't believe has a problem with her mom.
So Ruby
The
Gillman
mom has a problem with the mom.
is a teenage Kraken who this family of Krakens moved from the ocean because there's a bunch of monsters to the dry land town
but next to the ocean.
of Oceanside, which is right next to the water because they
And
have
they-
to stay moist.
And they say they're from Canada, which is the stupidest ongoing joke in
And
the
they say
entire
they're
movie.
from Can-
That's
You're
why they look
blue.
different.
I'm from Canada. And then she like does I like the pin turn.
A,
Like the-
and then the guy goes, "Oh, okay, it makes
Oh,
sense."
okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the town, bro. That was probably the coolest looking animated town.
That might have been the best part of the movie animation
was the town.
because the
I thought it
models were
looked
so
dope. Like the boat the guy's traveling in, all
Mhm.
the houses are like very like the front entrance to an aquarium. That's what like pretty much every house
Okay.
looked like. Very aquatic themed, very nautical elements.
Okay.
So I was a huge fan of how the town looked, definitely. But the surrounding movie wasn't that.
no, the third,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
wasn't
the
that
animation was,
Yeah.
it's very rubbery.
So Ruby Gillman just wants to fit in. It's junior prom.
It's turning red. It's
Except instead of the boy band concert, it's prom. She even has the Turning Red friends.
yes. This is what I'm
There's
trying to
the
say.
friends from Turning, including overreactive best friend,
Mhm.
over the top best friend, kind of shy, reserved one, and
They just troped them out and went over the top with them.
and
But they are
su-
those.
and super intense.
Right.
The one who's like death, 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 and the other one's like go big, you gotta go big, and the other one's like, I just do my live stream and play on my mobile gaming device. He's got like a Switch or whatever. I'm
yeah.
it's like turning red, but turning purple.
It is. Like
And
I
that's
knew
co-
once you saw the friends and I'm like, you're gonna be like,
Like,
Jesus,
come on,
guys.
bro. Lean into it a little less. You know what I mean? And especially don't copy a movie that did take that many risks and was actually pretty decent.
And then play it safe.
And then play it safe.
Yeah.
And don't do any of the... Because it's like fitting in is
It's
the moral of the
that
story.
tropey story fitting in.
But this doesn't work because it's not like she's a human and then turns into a weird thing like turning red. She's a Kraken
Already.
that turns into a bigger Kraken.
And she's already fitting in by lying already.
She's already fitting
So
in.
it's not like she's a human that jumps into the water, gets purple.
And Kraken
longer she
powers.
stays there, she gets bigger and more powerful. No. It's just normal human-sized Kraken out of water, gigantic Kraken in water.
the water.
Which they explain
Or-
only the women.
when she gets like stressed
I
because
guess.
in the library she
You're right.
transforms and she's not but she was in the water.
But from before, but at that point she wasn't.
Right.
Which is weird.
So it's very confusing. And it's like they say they have to stay moist the whole time, so it's like wouldn't she turn into a Kraken at all
But the
times?
sea is different or whatever. Yeah, it was very like
But it's like
loosey-goosey.
it's humid where we live.
Yeah.
Imagine right on the water.
Yeah, and I know we're picking apart a kids movie, but
Eh, It's a DreamWorks movie, and DreamWorks has been held to a higher standard in their
especially
past few
recently,
movies.
as
So
they've been starting to turn it around a little bit.
to get this after Bad Guys and Puss in Boots was like a little underwhelming. You know what I mean?
It's not like the worst movie.
No,
but
your kids will have a good time.
if
you
it's
bring your kids, they'll have
Elemental
a good
or this, go see Elemental.
time. Elemental.
I'm serious.
Elemental took more of a chance and did more different things animation-wise, even though the story was just
it's
as
still
cliche.
fitting in, you know, but from two different, like, teenage fitting in
Finding
immigrants.
your people.
Finding your place in your people.
That's literally the moral of like every kids movie nowadays. It's just
And
like,
I mean, yeah.
as long as you're embrace your difference and have superpowers, you'll be accepted by your peers and have superpowers.
Because everybody can have superpowers. The Star Wars movies taught us that.
Right.
Everybody's
but I love
a
that.
Jedi.
It's like, well, yeah, they accept your differences, but only because you did giant kaiju fight and have giant laser eyes and can, or in turning red, double super jump. You know?
Right.
So it's like, do you fit in, or it's just like, it's like fit in. You'll fit in, kids, unless you have superpowers. Or only if you have superpowers.
Right. Then you can overcome all the terribleness and fit in just enough.
But if you don't have superpowers, you won't fit in.
You might as well kill yourself. That's what it feels like.
Pretty much. That's pretty much. And I can't believe we're still on this of like, you gotta prom is the most important thing to any child ever,
I know.
kids. So prom should be this important to you when you're in high school. You'll think, oh, I want to be like that movie, and prom's so. No, it doesn't matter. High school is bullshit, and nothing matters.
Well, it's important. What's important to you is important to you.
Study.
Like, that's what I'm saying. The movie does. Do
your
it's
homework.
weird. It does hit the old cliche things like, you know,
prom. You got to ask your dream guy who
and,
might not want to go with you, but in the end, because you have superpowers, does want to go with you.
Yeah, it just, and I know we're like all over the map, but
the whole movie is
every
just one.
Every movie, it could have been a 30-minute episode on Cartoon Network of something or Nickelodeon.
I commented on our channel. Somebody goes on our Indiana Jones review, what did you think of Ruby Gillman? I was walking out of the theater, and I go, it was fun. It's a fun movie, good to look at. It would have worked better as a 20-episode cartoon series on Cartoon Network,
or Nickelodeon,
where she has to use her powers to help the town monster of the week style.
Yep.
And what DreamWorks usually does is turn all their shows into cartoons. So what this could have been
it's just been straight to the
is a backdoor pilot for a cartoon that they're gonna make.
Nickelodeon does do that a lot.
Nickelodeon and DreamWorks are like the two that do that a lot.
Yeah, they do.
A lot. There's like 10 How to Train Your Dragon shows.
There are.
There's like 3 Kung Fu Panda shows. You know, there's the Trolls series. They do original series. They did the Voltron stuff. All like the She-Ra on Netflix is all DreamWorks. So
my biggest problem though is like if this movie was only so-so, which it clearly was, and again, we're not really going over it because it's basically the tropiest. It's very, very close to turning red in the major 3 act scenario. Yes, there's some differences obviously, but it's problem with mom accepting daughter. Daughter goes out on her own, tries to figure it out.
Everything.
Right, mom didn't tell her everything, tries to figure it out. Mom tries to make up for it. Grandmother now involved. Mom doesn't like grandmother. You know what I'm saying though. And then
no, they just made a big point to say that
it's grandmama.
Grandmama
pronounced.
Yeah, you got to go up on the second ma. What the fuck? What is any of this? It's like trying to invent lore that makes no sense.
Because it was an hour and 20. They didn't even have enough to make this a movie, which was my problem.
And they stretched it.
They stretched it.
No pun intended.
They hit every trope at the end, though.
Yeah.
Like spoilers.
Big kaiju fight.
Everybody's happy at the end after the big kaiju fight.
They do a dance party. This movie was not good enough to have a dance party at the end of the movie.
They asked the prom date, everything that they leave you hanging before they wrap up with a nice bow. Everyone loves each other. Everything's happy. She got the guy of her dreams. Everything is good and everything is great.
Everything's awesome. In the end. And everybody accepts Krakens for who they are.
I've read some interviews with the directors and stuff of the movie, the DreamWorks, and they were like talking about how they subverted expectations to make a mermaid bad. And it's like, if you didn't put it in the trailer, then as a kid, as an adult seeing the movie, you're like, obviously know that that's going to be a bad guy. But as a kid, maybe you do get your expectations.
We do get introduced to Chelsea Mermaidton, whatever the fuck her name is, right? Who's like trying to be Ruby's best friend once she finds out she's a Kraken because she's a mermaid.
Right, secretly. And they have this secret war that's been brewing for thousands of years. And
the Mermaid Kraken War.
What? My problem was it felt very Mario paced. They throw 160 things at you. You need to accept them, appreciate them, and feel worried about everything. And you don't have any time to do that.
Superpowers, and we're going to give her a superpower learning montage.
The montage that felt so forced.
Yeah.
It's like less than a 2-minute montage, and they
She's
blow
like, hey, Grandma,
through.
I need to learn how to use my powers. Laser eyes, laser eyes, laser eyes.
It's just
how do Krakens have laser eyes and like body armor and like super skin?
Say what you want about Disney and Pixar, but this is the difference here that has made DreamWorks not quite there, because this is just, it's lazy.
They're one step behind.
Right, this is lazy.
Yeah.
Like kids will like it.
It has elements of
colorful.
Turning Red. It has elements of Luca.
It's mainly Luca and Turning Red.
Way better than this movie.
Right, they both are.
Yeah.
Turning Red, but it is like 80% of this movie is Turning Red and Luca with some other tropey
Except
shit.
when Luca
to tack
comes
in.
on the ocean or on land, he doesn't still look like a fish person.
Right,
which is the whole point of the movie.
If they would have done that, then people would have really been like, "Why do you? This is Luca.
It's
Turning
Luca.
Red.
It's
like
straight up
you guys."
Luca. Yeah.
It's honestly,
everybody in that town is idiots. By the way.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Super dumb.
They're Canadian. You got the.
She's trying to be like a
brother.
Phil Dunphy type too. She's a realtor. She's like
I thought of that
silly.
immediately.
She's like tripping and falling, and you know what I mean. She's like very.
Gil Dunphy.
It's funny because his nemesis
I thought
is
of
Gil.
that in the theater. By the way.
Gil.
Yeah.
So this is honestly the worst animated movie I've seen of the year.
Okay, of the year. That's
of the
fair.
year for
That's
sure.
Definitely not the worst animated.
No,
movie.
not about time.
Sure.
But Mario was better. Spider-Verse was better. Elemental was better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this
yeah.
is definitely
What's DreamWorks? Does DreamWorks have another one coming? Trolls 3, I think, is
Trolls
next.
3. Which
Yeah.
people like to shit on Trolls. I like the Trolls movie. The second one's not as good as the first, obviously, but they're not bad movies.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
an excuse to hear.
Especially compared to this.
Yeah.
I don't know what this was.
I don't know what this was. Yeah. Casting not many people, well-known people, wasn't really. I know the grandmama is like some.
It
Was
was
Chelsea, the chick from 30 Rock, the camera? She sounded exactly like her.
No, that was Toni Collette played the mom.
Yeah, okay.
The grandma was the old actress from the 70s. Or
Yeah, I
it's
know,
in her
it was like
you know what I'm talking about? She
yeah.
just did those old lady movies. She was just in those movies.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Thank you.
I was like, not Jane Foster. That's MCU. That's MCU. So many movies
Jane
we watched.
Foster.
Yeah,
as
I
grandmama.
almost said it. Okay, so
No, this movie is the most by the numbers.
That's the problem.
Save your money.
save your money. Wait for it on
streaming.
Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely, and that's not
Yeah.
like a bad thing to say, but
No,
it's like
spend a month. Spend the same amount of money you would on tickets for 6 months worth of Peacock. Seriously, and then it'll be much better.
Do that.
I give it honestly 5.8.
5. Yeah.
5.8.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a straight 5. It wasn't great. It genuinely was not good. I found myself
I was the one defending it to
checking
you.
my
I'm like,
phone,
it's probably
like-
gonna be pretty decent. I'm shocked that they dumped it. And that's the other thing is, if they only knew they had an average movie, you put it by yourself in
Yeah.
September, and you let it make a little more money, especially with the budget being as low as it is.
The budget definitely shows though that it was that
It does at
low.
the end, and we didn't get to that before we got out here.
Yeah.
The third act.
When we get to the big kaiju fight, the mermaid gets the super MacGuffin and gets really big.
Really big.
And the whole
Which
theme
is-
of the movie is to go big.
Which is
you
really
know?
funny because the early parts of the movie look really good. There's lots of purples and blues and reds
The
that are
town-
very
town looks
vivid.
good.
Very
Some of the characters
vivid.
look really good. When she gets underwater for the first time,
The
it looks
training
awesome.
underwater where she's got to get through the riptide thing
Yeah.
to get the
That
MacGuffin.
looked really good.
Looked really
When
good.
she
Then
gets into the MacGuffin orb.
the second she gets into the orb, gets to the MacGuffin, the movie's like, okay, guys, we have 20 minutes and $100. Finish this thing.
Yeah. Because the main bad
It's
guy
bad.
doesn't look great.
Terrible.
Ruby looks good as big kaiju thing.
Well, because they were using the early
She's
models
a bulk
from
of the movie,
Yeah,
so they have
so
to
they
make
have
her
to.
look better. You can see like her like down to like each scale like on Ruby.
But the mermaid looks like
yeah,
a 30%, and
Yeah.
I'm not being because we do this stuff.
you
Him
gotta
way more
go-
than me.
They needed to go twice back over that.
It was
shit.
bad.
Yeah.
Like kids aren't going to notice because they don't care.
No, and the grandmama didn't look great.
She didn't look great
either.
either.
Yeah, she was too smooth compared to the other.
Which again, they
Krakens.
wanted to build all this lore, and they throw it at you like Mario style, like
Yeah.
100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But when you meet the grandma, who's the queen of the Krakens and the queen of the ocean, you only get to meet her son, which is Ruby's uncle, and you meet no one else in this gigantic
No one else
super
in the
city.
family.
They show this like
No one else.
castle that's the size of like the Empire State Building, and no one lives in there. But
And
the
you're like,
grandma.
oh, this is like Kraken Town.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's what they say.
Krakenberg.
This is like the land of the Kraken. They get there. There's 2 fucking Krakens.
Well, they're all Krakens. They're just the big ones.
Right.
Like Grand
But I mean, you
Krakens or
barely see
whatever.
any
Yeah.
until like that one scene towards the end when you see a bunch of them. But like, where's all these people?
Well, that little baby one swims up and is like, "Hi, Ruby," and then like swims away, and we never see him again.
So, yeah, and like all of a sudden, Ruby knows the whale. That part to me was almost like
Clarence P.
Yeah, like it was like weird. Like, oh hey,
Well,
Clarence.
Well, they did that when she's like, when the mom's trying to calm her down, she's like, you remember that beached whale you found? Clarence J. blah blah blah.
It was so dumb though.
And it
randomly
was literally only set up for the scene.
that
of,
joke.
Hey, little guy, but it's a whale. She's got a pet whale.
I was like, you wanted to walk out of Asteroid City?
No, I didn't want to walk out of this.
I'm surprised you gave a lower score than me. By the last 20 minutes, I already knew there was going to be a Kaiju fight. I knew she was going to go to the prom. Like, I'm just like, come on. I got to go pick up my son from camp. Like, this is...
You're like, I got anything else to
anything
do.
else. I'll go catch the last 10 minutes of Indiana Jones again.
Yeah, I probably should have done that, honestly. And then I would have been like, this movie was great. Oh, no, I just want to go see Indiana Jones again. The biggest discrepancy in this movie is one of the friends is like on a mobile device, but he's live.
He's on a
streaming.
Steam Deck.
He's on a Steam Deck.
They even have like the weird. Yeah, it's like a Steam Deck looking thing.
It's like a weird Steam. It's like a nautical submarine Steam
Yeah.
Deck. Yeah, literally, like it's a yellow submarine. He goes later on. There's like a video of her going around, and it's like, well, nobody's seen it yet.
It's like, oh, yeah, it's like I only have 141 followers or 141.
140,000.
That's because how many followers? Don't worry, just 140,000.
I'm like,
And
no,
then
you don't.
Everyone in the school
No,
gets a
you don't.
notification.
You don't have 140,000. You're streaming on a fucking mobile device, basically, dog. You don't have 140 fucking thousand. So you're doing
artistic
no commentary, no webcam. You're streaming off a goddamn Switch at 720p, if that. You can't stream on a fucking handheld. What's your internet
video
connection?
games.
You're not plugged into a fucking router. Oh my god. Giant krakens fighting giant mermaids with water hair. Fine.
I mean, I can stream on Twitch on my iPhone.
That dude don't have 140,000 subscribers, but you can't commentate. It's in vertical cam. You know what I mean? There's no webcam. Fucking no, bro. No. That dude.
So Ryan's biggest
that dude
gripe of
doesn't
the movie.
even have 140 followers, let alone 140,000. Okay, no.
So DreamWorks, if you're looking for some kind of consultant on tech, I think this is the guy you're looking for.
That was the biggest load of horse.
He almost walked out in that scene.
Yeah, I was like, no.
I'm enjoying the movie. This is a great. Now I'm done.
Now.
This is
Now.
You were Clarence from The Blackening or whatever his name was. Actually,
he doesn't have 140,000.
All right, go check out the Indiana Jones review. That was a good movie, and don't believe the media narrative hype about how it's the worst. No, there is this again. They're doing the same thing they've done with other movies this year, where they pronounce it terrible and dead before anybody has really seen the movie, and then well, I've heard it's bad. Who did you hear that from?
Yeah, the internet.
The fart smellers.
The internet
at Cannes. That's where you heard it's shitty.
Yeah, our fart smellers. There was the subreddit.
No, that's a fun movie. Go see that. Go see that before you see this. Go see that 3 times before you see this.
Go see this before you see that, because you'll hate
this
movie.
If you have to see both, do it that way. But I'm saying, like, if you have enough schmeckles, because everything sucks right now, and you can only pick one, please, for the love of God, go see Indiana Jones and
do
not
that. Okay.
Ruby Gillman.
Yeah, but if you're going to see both
But if you're like, I'm seeing 10 movies this weekend, do yourself a favor and see Ruby before Indiana Jones. Because you will be going Oscars for Harrison Ford at the end.
Yeah, and it was just a groan fest for a teenage crackhead. Yeah.